Hi, little Isaac. As you can see, I finally woke up and am downstairs now. It's 11:30 at night, but that's fine. I am awake. It took me hours to wake up. I never saw anything like it. I couldn't wake up. It was spooky, but I finally said, time to get up. So I went outside, closed in the chickens, closed in the garage, the things that had been outside, and came inside. And here I am now, about to read you another book. Yes, I can't get enough of these. Let's see which one I have here. Sophie's Window. I don't know what this book is. I just picked it up. It wasn't in one of the clumps, I don't think. It might have been, but I'm not sure. Clumps. I don't think they call them that. I think they call them, what do they call them? Stacks, packages, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's books. Okie doke. Let's read it. Sophie's Window by Holly Keller, with a cute little dog, or something like that, and a pigeon on the front page. Can't beat that. For Corey and Craig. When I write a book, I might even make it for you and your mom. The sky is so big, Caruso said. Oh, I gotta see who Caruso is. By the looks of it, it's a pigeon. The sky is so big, Caruso said. Do I have to do it today? Wonder what it is. No, Mama said, but you'll have to do it soon. Don't think about it. Don't think so much about it, said Papa. I'm kind of guessing it's a baby bird that's about to fly off of a building. It could be scary if you ask me. Ask your mom how I react around subway platforms. Arm out in front of her, because you never know when somebody from a British mystery is going to come along and shove or bump or something. So the arm out, protection. Okie doke, turning the page. It's amazing. I can digress more than anybody alive. Turning the page. But Caruso could not stop thinking about flying. What if he got lost in a cloud? What if he got tired and fell splat? Oh, he's quite worried. It's not good to worry, but sometimes you can't help it. Maybe tomorrow, said Mama. Maybe tomorrow, said Papa. Maybe tomorrow, said Caruso. What a loving family. Look at them ensconcing him so that he doesn't feel alone. I like this book. Oh, this is pretty. That night, there were no stars in the sky. There's no stars in the sky tonight because we had a lot of rain. I think it's finally stopped. The wind whipped around the rooftops. Pardon me. And whistled between the buildings. It woke Caruso. He hopped down from the shed. This is the shed where they sleep. He hopped down. There's newspapers flying. Somebody left their clothes on the line. Flopping off, it looks like. Suddenly, a big gust howled across the roof and curled around him. Help! Caruso shouted, but nobody could hear him. Oh, look. It blew him off. Caruso went up and up and up. Then, whoosh, he went down, down, down. When he landed, he didn't know where he was. In the morning, big black eyes were looking at him. Hello, the dog said. I'm Sophie. Caruso thought Sophie looked friendly, but he couldn't be sure. I'm Caruso, he said in a very soft voice. I'm Caruso. I'm Caruso. Well, they said soft. They didn't say high-pitched, so maybe I'm getting carried away. Ask your dad. I do that with the pitch thing. This is kind of a pretty picture if I could figure out where to hold it. The little dog looking at him. Make yourself comfortable, said Sophie. It's a very nice day. Thank you, said Caruso, but I want to go home. He pointed to a yellow building with a small shed on its top. There it is. That's where I live. There's the yellow building and there's the small shed on top. Reminds me of the view from the hospital room when you were born. Oh, what a view it was. Oh, man. What a day that was. When little Isaac came into the world. Oh, what a world. Moving on. Well, maybe I'll see you another time, said Sophie, and she pulled her nose inside. Wait, said Caruso, I can't fly. Then how did you get here? Sophie asked. Caruso told her about the wind. Maybe I could just give you a little push, Sophie suggested. Oh no, said Caruso. Sophie, breakfast. Sophie's ears perked up. This is a dilemma, she said. Good luck, Caruso, and she disappeared. Well, not much of a dilemma. She decided it rather quickly to abandon her new little friend. Poor Caruso, sitting there, alone, frightened, unable to fly. I see you're still here, said Sophie when she finally came back. She gave Caruso a piece of toast. That's nice. We'll have to think of something to do with you, she said, because you certainly can't stay. Caruso sighed. I suppose I can take you home, said Sophie. How will you find it? Caruso asked. A dog knows the streets, Sophie said. A bird is supposed to know the sky, Caruso said, but I'm not sure if I ever will. This is a friendly little dog, that's Sophie, smiling at that little bird. Sophie thought for a minute. Of course you will, she said, but in the meantime, follow me. Caruso hopped down the steps. One at a time. He tried to keep up, but he was much slower than Sophie. When Caruso finally reached the sidewalk, Sophie had disappeared from sight. This isn't going to work, she said, reappearing from behind a trash can. We'll never get you home at this rate. Now, I don't mean to pause. It's just that I'm about to cough again. So I'm going to go get some water. And that way, I can read to you without coughing. Just one moment, my little man. I think I forgot to turn the light out outside. We don't need it anymore. Everybody's inside. Although the other light is on out there, which means there's some critter walking about. But that's no matter because my guys are safely inside. Okay. When we left off, Sophie was realizing she doesn't know how she's going to get the little pigeon up high onto the top of that roof. Sophie lay down on the sidewalk, and Caruso hopped onto her back. Caruso's a boy. Of course he is. Why did I say she? His heart was beating fast. Up there you can see. Sophie went up and down curbs and around corners with the little pigeon on her back. That, by the way, is what my little chicks are doing with their moms. Sometimes they get on her back, and it's very cute. Very cute. She went into a building and through a gate, which was quickly closed behind them. Caruso heard a clank and a screech. He felt his stomach lurch. Do you know what that is? Of course you do, for Isaac. An elevator, which is a brilliant idea of this dog. That's how she can get up to the top of the building. I didn't even think of it. And humans are supposed to be smarter than dogs. Whatever. Then the gate opened again. Sophie bumped Caruso off her back and gave him a push. Last stop, she said. In a minute, Caruso was surrounded by Mama and Papa. He tried to explain what had happened. When he got to the part about Sophie, he turned to find her, but Sophie was gone. Days and nights went by. Caruso couldn't stop thinking about Sophie. What if he never saw her again? I kind of like this picture. The mother and father bird are asleep, but not little Sophie. Wonder where the newspapers came from. One morning, Caruso opened his eyes and knew that he was going to do it. Drum roll. He climbed up onto the top of the shed, stood on the tips of his feet, and flapped his wings. Nothing happened. He flapped harder, then harder and faster and harder, and he was flying. Look at that. Oh, what that must be like to be up that high where you see things looking like this and you see the sailboats in the water. Oh my gosh, and the blue sky everywhere. But most of all, Sophie was doing it. Caruso was flying. He faced his fear and he's doing it. Sophie barked happily when she saw him. I knew you would come, she said. They talked and played together all day. Will you come back tomorrow? Sophie asked when it was time for Caruso to go home. I will, Caruso promised, and Sophie watched until he was just a small speck in the sky. Friends, real friends, real friends. And the screen, just if I don't push it, hold on. Real friends, and this is a real book. This was a real story. That was a nice story. I like this story. We haven't read any books like this in a while. It just tells a good story. I like this book. Well, what should we talk about? Oh my goodness, that took me almost 15 minutes to read that book. I must have digressed a bit because it wasn't a very long book, but it did tell a story. It wasn't just this is a cow book. But I like that too, to tell you the truth. Well, I guess I could do that throwing thing, but I'm not very good at it. I don't know. How about if I try and throw this? Oh gosh. I seriously try to catch these things. Okay. I did it! Oops. Maybe if I take my glasses off. I did it. That helped. That's the secret. Take the glasses off. Oh man. I keep catching it. That was what it was. Those trifocals probably had three different, whatever. Let's see if I can do it with this thing. I did it. I think we've discovered a solution. I'm not going to press my luck. I'm just going to say, I love you, little guy. Sleep well, and I will see you tomorrow. Or soon if I... Oh, there's a big stack of books. I might see you soon. I love you, little guy. Bye-bye.